I have not seen a video out yet on the new Miele dishwasher. I just got mine and I wanted to shoot a video for you guys in America. We're having some difficulties figuring it out. So the Miele dishwasher, the reason I bought it, first of all, was because I used Grok and I said which dishwashers are coming back with the least amount of fixes or returns or yada yada. These Miele dishwashers say that they have like at least a 25% better life. They last between 12 to 20 years, which beats the standard 6 to 12 by quite a lot. So I went with this one. It was a little bit more expensive, but I found that the value would outweigh the difficulty of me rewiring, redoing whatever is going to happen in an older house that I own. This house was built in 1955. Not that that's that important, but this will kind of speak to some of the fixes and the difficulties that I have found. And I wanted you guys to know some of the tips and tricks. Okay, first of all, this is the Miele, in case you didn't see it on the title slide, the model number G5266 SCVi SFP. It has the paneling and all of the controls right on the top so that when this closes, you can't see them if this is fully set in. This brings me to probably the most important first point is you need to know your measurements. The most important measurement is the actual depth of this thing, depth being the actual measurement going directionally inward towards your wall. And I had measured for what the actual width of the machine is, which is about 24 inches, but you at least need 1 inch because the drainage hoses and your hot water and your power all usually come in through that back. So make sure that you leave an extra inch longer than what you estimate this box hole needs to be for wires and cables and yada yada. The next thing I would say is that you need to make sure you understand that this dishwasher is going to be not hardwired. It's going to come with a plug, an actual 3-prong plug if you live in America, that is wired in already. If you buy it from a standard appliance store, maybe if you get this just shipped to you, then it'll come without the door and it'll come without the plug plugged in. But from what I read in the instructions, you cannot wire it for standard hard wiring anyways. And because mine came with the plug, I had to have a mechanical engineer buddy read up on some of the forums and found out that if you try and disassemble the plug-in itself that has been wired, it voids the warranty and it can break the circuit board. So don't do that and be very careful. And then that brings me to point 3. When I was verifying this information with the plug being already wired in, I tipped my dishwasher up on its side and water came flooding out all over the floor. What I mean by this is if you order this to a warehouse and it's going to sit someplace cold, it could freeze if you're in one of the northern states. So keep that in mind, that if you're going to order it and it's going to sit in a warehouse, let them know that these things are tested by running their water system to make sure that everything operates, which is great. The downside is there's going to be water in it when it arrives to you, and you don't want that to spill out on your floor. Okay. This would be number 4. When you get this thing installed, when you actually get it plugged in and you've wired up your new outlet, wherever you decide to wire it, I'll get into that next. But if you try and push the power button and the door is open, it will not usually come on. Maybe I've actually done something there. Okay. If it's closed, it will not come on. Even if you can see under the lights, I don't even think you can see in there. But the point is it has to be open because this is designed to shut with the actual buttons and display being held underneath your counter space. So if it's closed and you try and test the power, don't freak out. Open the lid and then try it again. And that will kind of make sure that you understand that you actually did your wiring correct. Hopefully you check your wiring. Obviously you want to shut off all your power and check that your Romex or whatever wire you have that you're installing an outlet with has no power to it when you're installing the new box and outlet. And then once you get it installed and you flip your breaker back on, you want to get one of these. And this gives you an actual verification. If it can focus, my goodness. Showing that symbol at the bottom, which shows correct wiring, and you want to make sure that obviously it's wired correctly and your box isn't hot. If you've done that pigtail or whatever they call it, and you install that little screw at the bottom, make sure that your box is not like going to be dangerous for hot wiring. Now, obviously, because this is near wet spaces, you want to make sure that you have a GFCI somewhere in your wiring system to protect from water danger. Okay, next thing on here, right, the steam arm. So this machine right here comes with this little latch, and this little latch pushes out. I'm not going to pull on it, but it pushes your door open to mechanically allow the steam to exit your dishwasher to dry your dishes a little bit better. And when it does that, it's kind of pushed into this slot right here. And I tried pushing every button. There's not a button that you push to make that go return in. You've got to just give it kind of a quick pull, not harsh, but enough to dislodge it. And once you dislodge it, that mechanical arm will automatically scroll back into the internal mechanism in there. So that'll be something for you to know the first time you use the dishwasher. And the first time you run the dishwasher, you want to make sure that, it's going to come up in your symbols and your display up here, but you have to fill that soft water section down there. It's got its own tub, so you fill that up with salt, and that comes shipped in the box. And then the other thing is that you want to make sure you fill up, I think it was 2 liters of water in there, so it has its initial water. And then I just ran this dishwasher 1 cycle empty in a quick cycle, which is this quick display right here. And just got that knocked out so that I could run everything through and test it, make sure everything was draining correctly into my disposal. All right. The last thing that I want to mention before I go over just a couple of quick tips is the power plug itself is wide. And so the first issue I had was I tried at the rear here to install the outlet, and it canted my entire dishwasher at an angle so that the dishwasher itself couldn't be pushed by the feet and the legs up into its position correctly. And so that's really important to know. I punched a hole up underneath this cupboard and put the outlet way at the back to protect my dishwasher so it would actually fit in and could set in there straight. Now the tips that will be described in your actual manual are going to be these feet. Now these feet are spectacular in the sense that right here, that little screw right there on the corner, you'll see that it shows 2 feet. And the big important thing is about these feet is that you can rise the back feet in the back, meaning that you can put this thing in here and square it all the way up against, I have concrete countertops up there. And so you don't have to worry about necessarily leveling this thing on, what can be sort of unstable footing area where you have your dishwasher to sit. And then the front one, I just mechanically just rotated them by hand, but having those screws and those 2 corners to move the back legs was awesome. So I hope this was helpful for you guys, since I haven't seen a lot of Americans describe the new Miele dishwashers, but based on their reputation for quality and service and having a very simple mechanical design, I'll be interested to see how well this serves our family over, hopefully the next 20 years, as long as we take care of it. And hopefully that soft water system helps out a lot. Wish you guys the best.